Hello, I'm coming to you from the Jersey Shore. This is the first time in my life I've been to the beach in November. Anyways, we're going to continue with the age of AI. Let's see where we left off. We're talking about security and world order, particularly managing AI. The quest for reassurance and restraint will have to contend with the dynamic nature of AI. Once they are released into the world, AI-facilitated cyber weapons may be able to adapt and learn well beyond their intended targets. The very capabilities of the weapon might change as AI reacts to its environment. If weapons are able to change in ways different in scope or kind from what their creators anticipated or threatened, calculations of deterrence and escalation may turn illusory. Because of this, the range of activities an AI is capable of undertaking both at the initial design phase and during the deployment phase may need to be adjusted so that a human retains the ability to monitor and turn off or redirect a system that has begun to stray. To avoid unexpected and potentially catastrophic outcomes, such restraints must be reciprocal. Limitations of AI. Limitations on AI and cyber capabilities will be challenging to define, and proliferation will be difficult to arrest. Capabilities developed and used by major powers have the potential to fall into the hands of terrorists and rogue actors. Likewise, smaller nations that do not possess nuclear weapons and have limited conventional weapons capability have the capacity to wield outsized influence by investing in leading-edge AI and cyber arsenals. It is quite windy out here. I'm trying my best, y'all. Inevitably, countries will delegate discrete, non-lethal tasks to AI algorithms, some operated by private entities, including the performance of defensive functions that detect and prevent intrusions in cyberspace. The attack surface of a digital, highly networked society will be too vast for human operators to defend manually. As many aspects of human life shift online, and as economies continue to digitize, a rogue cyber AI could disrupt whole sectors. Countries, companies, and even individuals should invest in fail-safes to insulate them from such scenarios. The most extreme form of such protection will involve severing network connections and taking systems offline. For nations, disconnection could become the ultimate form of defense. Short of such extreme measures, only AI will be capable of performing certain vital cyber defense functions, in part because of the vast extent of cyberspace and the nearly infinite array of possible actions within it. The most significant defensive capabilities in this domain will therefore likely be beyond the reach of all but a few nations. Beyond AI-enabled defense systems lies the most vexing category of capabilities: lethal autonomous weapon systems, generally understood to include systems that, once activated, can select and engage targets without further human intervention. The key issue in this domain is human oversight and the capability of timely human intervention. An autonomous system may have a human on the loop, monitoring its activities passively or in the loop, with human authorization required for certain actions, unless restricted by mutual agreement that is observed and verifiable. The latter form of weapon system may eventually encompass entire strategies and objectives, such as defending a border or achieving a particular outcome against an adversary. and operate without substantial human involvement. In these arenas, it is imperative to ensure an appropriate role for human judgment in overseeing and directing the use of force. Such limitations will have only limited meaning if they are adopted only unilaterally by one nation or a small group of nations. Governments of technologically advanced countries should explore the challenges of mutual restraint supported by enforceable verification. AI increases the inherent risk of preemption and premature use, escalating into conflict. A country fearing that its adversaries developing automatic capabilities may seek to preempt it. If the attack succeeds, there may be no way to know whether it was justified. To prevent unintended escalation, major powers should pursue their competition within a framework of verifiable limits. Negotiation should not only focus on moderating an arms race, but also making sure that both sides know, in general terms, what the other is doing. But both sides must expect and plan accordingly that the other will uphold its most security-sensitive secrets. There will never be complete trust. But as nuclear arms negotiations during the Cold War demonstrated, that does not mean that no measure of understanding can be achieved. We raise these issues in an effort to define the challenges that AI introduces to strategy for all their benefits, the treaties, and the accompanying mechanisms of communication, enforcement, and verification that came to define the nuclear age were not historical inevitabilities. They were the products of human agency and a mutual recognition of peril and responsibility. Impact on civilization and civilian technologies. Three qualities have traditionally facilitated the separation of military and civilian domains: technological differentiation, concentrated control, and magnitude of effect. Technologies with either exclusive military or exclusively civilian applications are described as differentiated. Concentrated control refers to technologies that a government can easily manage, as opposed to technologies that spread easily and thereby escape government control. Finally, the magnitude of effect refers to a technology's destructive potential. Throughout history, many technologies have been dual use. Others have spread easily and widely, and some have had tremendous destructive potential. Until now, though, none has been all three: dual use, easily spread, and potentially substantially destructive. The railroads that delivered goods to market were the same that delivered soldiers to battle, but they had no destructive potential. Nuclear technologies are often dual use and may generate tremendous destructive capacity, but their complicated infrastructure enables relatively secure governmental control. A hunting rifle may be in widespread use and possess both military and civilian applications, but its limited capacity prevents its wielder from inflicting destruction on a strategic level. AI breaks this paradigm. It is emphatically dual use. It spreads easily, being in essence no more than lines of code. Most algorithms, with some noteworthy exceptions, can be run on single computers or small networks, meaning that governments have difficulty controlling the technology by controlling the infrastructure. Finally, AI applications have substantial destructive potential. This relatively unique constellation of qualities, when coupled with the broad range of stakeholders, produces strategic challenges of novel complexity. AI-enabled weapons may allow adversaries to launch digital assaults with exceptional speed, dramatically accelerating the human capacity to exploit digital vulnerabilities. As such, a state may effectively have no time to evaluate the signs of an incoming attack. Instead, it may need to respond immediately or risk disablement. If a state has the means, it may elect to respond nearly simultaneously before the attack can occur, fully constructing an AI-enabled system to scan for attacks and empowering it to counterattack. For the opposing side, the reported existence of such a system and the knowledge that it could act without warning may serve as a spur to additional construction and planning, which may include developing parallel technology or one based on different algorithms. Unless care is taken to develop a common concept of limits, the compulsion to act first may overwhelm the need to act wisely, as was the case in the early 20th century. If indeed humans participate in such decisions at all. In the stock market, sophisticated so-called quant firms have recognized that AI algorithms can spot market patterns and react with speed that exceeds that of even the ablest trader. Accordingly, such firms have delegated control over certain aspects of their strategies, securities trading, to these algorithms. In many cases, these algorithmic systems can exceed human profits by a substantial margin. However, they occasionally grossly miscalculate, potentially far beyond the worst human error. In the financial world, such errors devastate portfolios but do not take lives. In the strategic domain, however, an algorithmic failure analogous to a flash crash could be catastrophic. If strategic defense in the digital realm requires tactical offense, if one side errs in its calculations or its actions, an escalatory pattern might be triggered inadvertently. Attempts to incorporate these new capabilities into a defined concept of strategy and international equilibrium is complicated by the fact that the expertise required for technological preeminence is no longer concentrated exclusively in government. A wide range of actors and institutions participate in shaping technology with strategic implications, from traditional government contractors to individual inventors, entrepreneurs, startups, and private research laboratories. Not all will regard their missions as inherently compatible with national objectives as defined by the federal government. A process of mutual education between industry, academia, and government can help bridge this gap and ensure the key principles of AI strategic implications are understood in a common conceptual framework. Few eras have faced a strategic and technological challenge so complex and with so little consensus about either the nature of the challenge or even the vocabulary necessary for discussing it. The unresolved challenge of the nuclear age was that humanity developed a technology for which strategists could find no viable operational doctrine. The dilemma of the AI age will be different. Its defining technology will be widely acquired, mastered, and employed The achievement of mutual strategic restraint, or even achieving a common definition of restraint, will be more difficult than ever before, both conceptually and practically. The management of nuclear weapons, the endeavor of half a century, remains incomplete and fragmentary. Yet the challenge of assessing the nuclear balance was comparatively straightforward. Warheads could be counted, and their yields were known. Conversely, the capabilities of AI are not fixed. They are dynamic. Unlike nuclear weapons, AIs are hard to track. Once trained, they may be copied easily and run on relatively small machines. And detecting their presence or verifying their absence is difficult or impossible with the present technology. In this age, deterrence will likely arise from complexity, from the multiplicity of vectors through which an AI-enabled attack is able to travel, and from the speed of potential AI responses. I'm going to stop it here. There's some challenges out here on this windy beach today. For a moment there, I thought these birds were gonna come up to me, so. But anyways, thanks for watching and listening. Like and subscribe. Catch me in the next video, and may you find lasting happiness. Bye.